Alright, welcome back to the weekly update video. So this is the version 1.5.5 Steam Piston and Whistle update. So quickly go through this. So last week they gave us a little bit of a forward on what was going to be happening this week. So looking forward to this. I always love new parts. So dear Stormworkers, this week we had the new Steam Piston, Steam Whistle components. So they kind of buried the lead on the whistles. A lot of people have been looking for whistles for a long time, so that's awesome. New steam pistons come in various sizes. As discussed last week, the steam pistons are designed to work with a similar mechanic to real steam pistons, where the difference in pressure on each side of the piston pushes the piston from end to end. There are two ports on each side of the piston, and the valves for these ports are driven by the crank rotation. Try out the new steam tractor preset or design your own steam engine. Simply supply high-pressure steam to the input ports and allow the steam to exhaust by adding exhaust or steam whistles to the output ports. So that's kind of cool, having a more mechanical system. You know, one thing I would love to see is some rotational crankshafts. So, you know, potentially this kind of shows that they're interested in doing some of the stuff, with actual moving parts instead of kind of like closed boxes that just do the work. As the crank rotates, the torque acting on the crank varies. Pistons are most efficient mid-stroke, while at the ends of the stroke the pistons do not apply force efficiently, creating dead zones. To counteract this, placing pistons next to other links their crankshafts, and you can offset the crank offset in properties. The new steam whistles are similar to output ports except with the flow of steam. They produce a whistling sound. You can play around the pitch of the whistles properties so you can customize the tone of your whistles. So this is really cool. People have been already talking in the comments about somebody should make a pipe organ. It's going to be cool to have, some variability. One thing I really like in these types of building games is the ability to adjust your sound. You know, I would love to have some miniaturized air horns. Please, devs, do that. If we could get some some pressurized air systems that maybe we could work on actually having, some of my trucks actually use air systems for the brakes and everything. That'd be awesome. But stuff like that for air horns would be great. But it's really cool that you can vary the whistles as well, or just serenade your friends with a musical steam organ creation. These components have been requested ever since the Steam and Nuclear updates, so we're very excited to bring this update to players. This is an important line to me. Every time you read the comments, you get a lot of negativity where people say, well, why didn't you do this then? Why didn't you do this? We really don't have much insight into how these things happen for them. Most likely they're sitting down in a meeting and they're deciding, okay, well, we want to make our nuclear and Steam update. And they probably have 100 things on their list. And then they actually get in there and they start doing the work and they realize, wow, this is going to take longer than we thought. Or they have a problem that pops up that delays it. And they say, okay, well, do we hold this up for a month and make everything? Or do we put out, these parts and then see what the community really wants? One thing that, if you dump a part on the community that nobody uses, it seems like wasted time that could have been spent somewhere else. So, one of the things is a lot of people have been asking for steam pistons and whistles a lot. And so, even the devs might not know how popular a part is until the community kind of voices that. So, it seems like they're definitely listening. And, of course the stuff doesn't come out as fast as some of us would like, but they're certainly listening, and they're bringing some of these parts later if they have to. So, that is very positive in seeing that some of the things that we might be missing now could theoretically come in the future. There's plenty more in this update, so be sure to read the patch notes below for info on all the fixes and improvements included in this minor update. Much love, Stormworks developers. Alright, so patch notes. A lot of people don't read these patch notes, and I think it's important to go through here and kind of see what's going on. So, changes that include the number to relate to fixes submitted by the Stormworks community via the official issue tracker will be assessed via the report bug featuring game. That is the only place that they're going to check on bug reports / feature request. If you just spam in messages in here, then they're not going to look at it. They can't look at 8 different places like Reddit. People put suggestions on Reddit for the devs. There's one place to put the suggestions and bug reports, so that's the best place to put them, or the only place to put them. Posting to a submission to this tractor ensures we review your suggestions / reports, since we may not see reports submitted via other channels, just what I said. Alright, so we have new steam piston components and new steam whistle. Steam power tractor has been added to the list. It's always nice when you can have some sort of example. Might cut that initial discovery phase down. Fix underwater lighting fog shaders. Fix rocket fin mirroring. Rework. I'm not sure what this one is. Add destroyed vehicle mission outcome to relevant default mission types. Non-urgent mission types now display as orange instead of red. That's kind of nice to see. A demarcation of missions. Like, I've often had missions. There was one that I recall in the career build series where I forget how many people I had to rescue. It was like 12 people, and I got there so late that there were, I would say, 90% of them were already dead. And so that would most likely pop up as a red mission. So knowing that, okay, that's a mission I have to go do now if I want to complete it. An orange mission might tell me, hey, I've got some time on this. I would like to see them even do like a green mission where, like say tow a boat, right? That boat, if you've ever waited for a tow truck, you know how long it can take. So you have a green tow mission, okay, well, listen, I'll go do this red rescue mission first, and then an orange, and then, one thing that's super annoying is if you'd get out to a mission and then it would cancel. It'd be great if it had like a red, orange, green, orange, red system where you could say, okay, well, this mission's getting old. I need to go do it before I go waste my time and it, despawns. Or, something's on fire. That needs to be done now, or else everybody's going to die and there's going to be no point to do the mission. So that's kind of a cool feature to add. Fixed underwater mission zone off. This is something that people have been having issues with for a while. Weather and time overrides not persisting between save and load. Not sure about what that is. Kraken, I'm not a big fan of the Kraken, but it is cool that it can be placed in the editor for people trying to make little missions for themselves. Missing triangle and medium control surfaces. Added velocity limits to explosions to prevent twilight zoning players. So not sure what that was doing, but it sounds like that's a good fix for people probably crashing out. Survivors not updating with their constraints when revived in a bed. Small fin editor mesh too big. Minor add-on Lua documentation quality life changes. Weather state reverts to start of game conditions on load. That must be... Yeah, I'm not sure about what that's all about. Rotor mesh gap issue, and then rework updated netcode to deal with cases where the thread sleeps longer than expected. Alright, so a lot of these just seem like, more in-depth code stuff. I don't see some of the things I would, the fixes that I would like to see changed, but that doesn't mean they're not being done. I've certainly had things before where, for example, like, I don't know if they change the propeller sound back, but sometimes they'll do those without noting them. So let's go in here really quick, and I just want to see these parts here. So let's go into Steam. All right, so we have a steam whistle. So let's put that out here. I'll probably play with these a little bit this weekend. So there's my steam whistle. Let's click on this and see. Okay, so they said we have pitch, so... Oh, that's cool, so... Alright, so that's cool. You can change the pitch. That's awesome. Like you're saying, people are definitely going to probably build a pipe organ. That's awesome. I'm looking forward to playing with those. So it takes in a fluid. You can open the valve. So that's pretty cool. So, the preview, it seemed like it had a set time. I think because you'll be able to control the valve, you can do something like, like they're saying, build a pipe organ where you can actually control it yourself. So let's go through here. Steam boiler. So one of the things people were interested in with these pistons is a more compact nature. So let's hopefully we can get that. So let's kind of look at this. So it looks like here's your torque here, and then it looks like, let me quick grab pipe and we'll see what's up here. So you have steam out, steam out. So you have double steam outs, steam in, steam in. So it looks like you can have variable steaming systems in and outs. And then here's your torque. So it looks like this rotates here, and then you get a torque effect on both sides. So one thing they were talking about is starting rotation. As you can see, you can kind of see the ghost. Let me get out of the ghost so you can see it. Like, see how the piston head's there, and then I can change it here back to here. As you can see now, it's 180 degrees from where it was. So if I were to take two of these, like this, they were talking about how the extremes are going to be where your lowest amount of torque is. So what you'd want to do probably is set it so that it looks something like this, where, as you can see, this one's at this extreme, this one's at this extreme, and then you're getting power strokes. So that's kind of cool. The size is really good. Let's measure it up. What do we have? 6. So it's 6 by 1, which is pretty compact. So that definitely seems like a good system where hopefully we can get some more compact systems in here. I'm a huge fan of having small systems. Like if we start looking at like the steam parts here, you start to see how big they are. And one of the issues with the size of these things is, as you can see, this is how big the parts need to be to really do anything. And so you're starting to get to the point where things are excessively large. And so I understand why they do this, but I would always like to have some smaller options. It's just like, it's hard to build something on the small side. So let's go here to presets, and here's the steam tractor. So you see we have whistles for days. Let's give this a run and see what this looks like in the world. So this is their little steam tractor they built. Yeah, we can kind of see what's up. All right, that's steering. That's airflow. Okay. And let's see if we can't get going here. All right. All right, it's coming up to temp, so I think we have to just let it come up to temp. So let's kind of look at it here. As you can see, if you look at the pistons, I like how you can visually see the pistons. What they were talking about in the notes was you get the most torque mid-stroke. And so if you look at the engine, it's set up kind of like a real, either gasoline or diesel engine would be, where you have different piston states. So you want, to have efficient, like in a straight 4, you have 4, in a 4-stroke motor, you have one essentially doing the pushing at each time. So as you can see here, by them being offset like this, we always get consistent power. If we had, say, one piston, you would have lulls in the power. And you can hear the whistles. So that's kind of cool. It's a good little example, and it gives me a lot of good ideas. This is, as much as just saying how it's kind of tough, the size of this isn't overly huge. You can make a little boat like this, so that's pretty cool. I'm looking forward to playing with this. Probably get a little work on something like this in the weekend. But again, that was the update for the week. It's always great to have new parts, give people a lot of inspiration, and I think this is going to be awesome. So thank you for watching. See you next one.